Hello, my name is Hersh and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. You gonna get it stirred back up?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, who are you? What you talking about? She's gonna go back after you.
She tried.
I was like, who is this? I was like doing something. I kept looking at my phone. I kept getting notifications. I'm like, who is this person?
So for those that don't know, on my personal page, Flea had ended up tagging me in something, because we talked about it before, where there was a claim of getting raped in a virtual reality on the megaverse. What is this shit called?
Metaverse?
Meta. Okay.
Meta.
I don't be keeping up with none of that shit. But there was an article that came out where the lady did wasn't it like a test type thing where I think she was curiosity killed the cat. And she went in there to see if it was a real thing. Could you be, what was it about this and that and the third? So she did a study on it. Wasn't she like a counselor or a psychiatrist? I don't know. I don't know the full background. But she jumped in line on the virtual world and supposedly was gang raped. Now, before anybody get their blood pressure up, we do not condone any type of sexual harassment, sexual violence, or none. And I really believe that those that partake in those matters, in physical matters, then you should be dealt with accordingly. But this lady legit said that she was gang raped in her virtual world. So the article came out and Flea tagged me in it, and I was like, please make it make sense. Cause
yeah, we were just like joking, like, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Like, gang raped.
And it's just me and her. I tagged her underneath the thing, we're talking.
And then here comes the troll.
Here she comes.
Oh my God, I can't believe that you agree with sexual harassment, and
I look for it, and I was like,
you're all for people getting sexually harassed and blah 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 blah. And I was like, wait, what? No, she chose to stay in this virtual world during the incident that she was undergoing or experiencing in her virtual world, and she chose to stay there. Now, again, rape is not cool. Sexual harassment is not cool. No type of any of the above are trying to take that shit, whether it be virtual or in real life, is cool. I'm against all of that. But you cannot claim rape in a virtual world. Unless there's a virtual courthouse that we don't know about. I don't... And then there was another article where the mom was like, my daughter got gang raped on Roblox.
I know
what is Roblox?
That's the virtual world that the kids are in.
It's like Minecraft?
Yes. But it's more, it's kids from all over the world. You walk around, you have your own houses. But I logged in. I remember we talked.
So it's like a Sims?
Yeah, Sims. That's all it is. So I logged in and we proved that the only thing you can do, you can walk up to somebody and you can get in front of them and go back and forth. You move up but you can't physically, you can't be naked. Like, it's certain things you just can't do. There's no way you can do it. So to say somebody raped you, it's in your mind, you got to be like, okay, these people are on top of me in this virtual world. It's just real hard.
It's a psychological level.
It has to be something. I would beg to say something in real life has happened to this person. They need to go talk to somebody about it.
But she's claiming that her 10-year-old daughter was...
Yeah, they need to get her some therapy. They need to go talk and see what's going on.
I think the mom needs some deep therapy because something has obviously happened to her previously, right, where she automatically went to that level of, man, that's not even dry humping in the. You remember when you was kids, you would play doctor, or you know what I'm saying, you would dry hunch through your clothes type situation.
It's just not physically possible in Roblox to have sex. Let me just say that out. It's not physically
or in the
possible.
metaverse. In the meta, whatever this shit is
called.
Not
in the games that they're talking about. Like, what from the research, a hacker insert himself into your world. They can hack into your world, and then they got a code that will lock them onto your body, fully clothed now, and they make themselves appear to be hunching up and down, like so their hips are going in and out. That's really,
virtual rape.
That's virtual rape right there. So somebody hacks into your world, locks onto your character, and just move their hip in and out. That's the most they can do. Now at any time you can pull your plug, you can log off.
You can take the
take the headphones
virtual thing off.
At any time you can say, "And
your little character beat somebody up."
Yeah, close in your game. Yeah, you can fight. Like it's stuff.
Oh, I mean that's
really just log off. If you have, you probably.
I mean that's what I would have like. No, we good.
I mean I've seen people in the virtual. They have them little things on where they're walking real slow because they, it does seem real, but you're not getting penetrated.
No.
In real life.
No.
So it's not rape. So that's a psychological level that I don't understand.
I think it's something deeper to be asked about.
And I have been raped. And I have been molested. And I have no shame in telling my story ever. I've been there and done that. So for somebody to, before you get all hyped up and be like, well, how do you know what they was feeling and this and that and the third? Bitch, I done been there and done that more than once. I've handled those situations. And I walked around with a lot of anger for a long time. But you would never hear me fix my lips to say, I logged into Meta and got gang raped. I don't get it. It's a virtual world.
Make it make sense.
But this lady legit was just like, oh my God. I was like, lady, you obviously just trying to, skim to respond.
She got
the
people's attention.
Yeah. But she didn't get no more of my attention because I was just like, you have a blessed day because I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with nobody.
Oh, that girl. Yeah, I know.
That goes back
I never did understand what she was saying. I'm like,
to the social media topic that we had before on the HERshyt Show. Social media can get your ass whooped. So and I'm not saying I'd be the one to whoop your ass. Don't get me with no terroristic threats around these parts. I'm too old for that shit now. I don't do no fighting or whatnot. I just walk away. You got it. But
8 + 8 is 84. You're right. That is correct.
I can see exactly how you got that.
That's true.
Yes, indeed. But you cannot sit here and jump to a level of trying to sue somebody. That's money chasers.
Yeah.
That's them lawsuit chasers. They trying to find some kind of way to get paid. It's just like when McDonald's had to put a caution. It's hot inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, because somebody burnt themselves with the coffee. That was a lawsuit. People are chasing lawsuits.
We studied that in my MBA program. We had to study that whole case where somebody was in the drive-thru, got coffee, and they pulled off the coffee spill. And really, they pulled off, so they kind of initiated it, but they were able to sue McDonald's. And so McDonald's came up with a cup and a lid.
Caution.
All that just for that one case. And they've been using that lid ever since. It was like, man, this is crazy.
And that warning label, everything.
Yeah.
The only time you see a warning label on something is because somebody decided to try something different with that common sense factor.
Somebody drove off too fast when they got their coffee.
Mm-hmm. But that's anything with a warning label. Choking hazard. Hell, they got cars now that warn you to look in your back seat for your child. Just in case. Everything comes up with a warning label because somebody has done something very fucking stupid before. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
She got that. It just make it make sense to it.
I'm just like,
because we talked about that virtual thing before you had even tagged me in that article, and it was just like, man, people are. I feel sad for our world, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna stay in my little bubble, but that also goes into parenting. Like, parents are still learning and growing up as well. So just because they have a child don't mean that they're wrapped too tight. We done seen a few of those walking around, But then the kikiing and ha-haing is a whole different topic And we're about to blend it on into this one because there ain't too much more you can talk about with virtual situations, But parenting in itself is, what was that post I put up about your rude kids ain't cute or something like that? It was something I ended up putting up. And that's true. People get to geeking and ha-haing when their child is bad as hell, thinking it's cute. And then when they get older, they quick to be like, oh, well, I don't know how they turned out that way. You told them. By allowing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be their friend. You want to be their friend. I'm cool with my kid. We can have conversations all day long. But my job, and I've said it many, many, many times with every child that I've raised or had assistance with raising, there's levels to this shit. You stay in a kid's place. Don't worry about these bills. Don't worry about how much money I got. Get your hands out my pockets.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you got what you need, then you good. But you have some parents that legit just break down and cry and feel bad because they can't provide the next newest J's that come out, or the virtual world, or the Roblox memberships, or they feel bad because they're in comparison with the wants of their child having the best of the best, but not looking at the needs of the child having the needs of and necessities of what is functionable. You got a roof over your head. You got clothes on your back. You got food in your belly.
The basic needs, yep.
You got shoes on your feet. There's some kids that still don't even have that. And they some of the happiest kids on earth. There's actually still kids out here that'll go play with a stick and pew, pew, pew. Like, they're playing army in the back and dig a little, I love seeing kids being able to be kids, but we have so many sheltering parents, and that falls back on possibly that premeditation and ignorance, domestic terrorism levels. But they're sheltered children. No, I don't know what's going on in everybody's household, but I do know what's going on in mine.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the anger issues or the resentment or the nuts dropping phase where you're trying to find yourself and, the puberty, whatever you want to call it, nut dropping phase. I got a boy. So girls, I guess yours would just be the puberty phase. I don't know. The clit slip phase. But we all got to find ourselves. And as adults, we're still finding ourselves. We just have a lot more experience with dumb shit. But it's our job to teach our children. And look, I'm still with the aunties still got hands in on it. It takes a village to raise a child, and so many in society have gotten away from that. Mm-hmm. Don't you say nothing to my kid. Wait, what? Don't bring him over my motherfucking house then.
I've always been that way. No.
Because to me, all the grown folks in that house, if we're having to get together, ain't no reason that a child should be standing there listening to grown folk conversation. That irks I will stop everybody in mid-sentence and look over and say, baby, don't you think you need to go play?
Go outside.
Go on somewhere. Go find everybody else. You ain't got to be in here with grown folks. Well, mama, I don't give a fuck what your mama say. That's at home. Here at my house, children have no business in the middle of conversations with grown folks. Mm-hmm. And if you are on the phone with me and you start bashing their daddy or their mama or the aunties or family members or whatever, nah, you call me later. Especially if your kids are sitting right there with you. That's not a conversation we need to be having in front of children. And that's where a lot of people get fucked up at. That's where a lot of people got it twisted. They want to be the cool parent. You could be the cool parent and still teach. And understand that there is a difference between, just like we was talking about with Call of Duty on another show. You have to be able to tell your child and have that communication, the difference between reality and virtual. Baby, if they start dry humping your leg like, little Toodles does on your leg sometimes and does a little hunch, that's not a good thing. Log off. If you keep dying on Call of Duty, guess what? Don't try that shit in real life. You gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, have those are simple conversations. You ain't even getting into the birds and the bees and the bees and the bees and the birds and the birds and the birds want to be the bees and you ain't got to get into all of that. That's just common sense conversations. And then you wonder why your child got an attitude with Uncle Mario because you talking cash money shit when Uncle Mario ain't around. So when the child comes and sees Uncle Mario, he pops up at the barbecue, the child gonna treat him like shit. And don't nobody understand why. Yeah, you do. Because y'all been talking shit about this man while he wasn't around.
Kids listen to everything.
Yeah.
You realize
they got great memories. They ain't like
yes.
Everything you said is locked into memory.
And it's just like, they come up and you're like, how'd you even, oh shit. Okay.
And they pop it out like woodwork. They might not know what they did in school that day or what they ate for lunch
they
that
know what
day.
the hell you said.
But sweetheart, they gonna ask you flat out, Mama, you remember when you said you was gonna buy me that box of Army Men for $15 on the 15th? Well, today is the 16th. Did you get paid yesterday? I was like, wait, what? Oh shit, you right. You better hold your word.
Yep, better hold your word. That's teaching an example right there. Mm-hmm.
You better hold your word. Say what you mean what you say. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Be as good as your word.
These wants and these needs are two different totally factors. You need to do what's within your budget. Teach them that the minimalist side is a good side.
Mm-hmm.
Simplicity is great. Creating your own birthday cards, creating and crafting together, certain things for, family fun time or, just something. Mine just saw me work his whole life, and I tried to be there for sports. And when I was in town, because Lord knows, Uncle Sam had me everywhere around the world. But when I was at home, I was a part of the track team. I was into the basketball. I would pay to have him do football. I would try to take part in the sports and what he wanted to do. Not what I wanted him to do. I gave him an option. There's too many parents trying to force their kids into something because it's a babysitting moment. And their kid really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you're really great at it, so you should just stick with it. And then it turns into, well, just try it, and if you don't like it, you can stop. But then when the child is honest with you that they don't want to do it anymore, it's, I done put all this money into it, boy, you gonna finish this? I mean, well, damn. Did they really get a choice or do they not? But you don't have to baby your child. Talk to your child. Talk to them. It ain't no Gigi and Gaga and Wawa and Eat and all of that. Have full conversations with them. Why not? It's our job to educate them before the armed teachers have to educate them.
Especially now, they 4 or 5 years old learning from YouTube, so you might want to beat YouTube to the punchline. Because they learning everything.
Mm-hmm. And they got videos on anything and everything.
Yeah, they do.
And then the parent does this. Here, just be quiet.
That's exactly right.
And they on TikTok and Instagram and anywhere looking at reels, and you don't know. You can say you parent all you want, but you don't know what's coming up in that next reel. When you scroll up or scroll down, nobody else knows what they're gonna see.
Shit, I learned the hard way about Cartoon Network at night.
Yeah. Yeah, adult time on the that's a serious,
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, yeah. That's,
on a kids network.
That's a whole different thing.
A whole different thing. I heard it something one night and I was like, wait, what? Walked in there, I was oh hell no. Nah, that's got to come off, buddy. And we didn't have Coco Melon, but you watching Fraggle Rock and Roger Rabbit.
Y'all remember Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what started it.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy started it all.
Bart, the Simpsons. But there was discipline in the Simpsons too. But Homer used to choke Bart out, so we didn't recommend that. But we knew that it was a different thing.
But they predict in the future, so.
Yeah, they definitely did. Simpsons was I don't know.
No shit, they're literally like them shows is like shit's happening right now. You're like, well, okay.
But maybe what's happening is fabricated based off of the show.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Who knows?
Look at the Oscar situation. Found the video on that one from the movie. So you don't know. We don't know. You know, TV is for entertainment. The media is for entertainment. Social media is for entertainment and to get information out. Some information is not good, but to each their own. Perception is reality. But when you sit here and kikiing and ha-haing and thinking that shit cute, that your child bad as hell, and then you wonder why you don't want, you wonder why people ain't inviting you over. You know, because you just letting your child do. And to me, kids need to be able to be kids. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in sit down, shut up, here's the phone, stay there for hours. No, children need to be active.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
Take them to the park. Run around with them. Play with it. Don't have to be even to the park. If you don't have one outside the street, run up and down the block with them for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, or make forts. Something. Let kids be kids, man. We're forcing these children to grow up too fast, and they feel the weight of the world on their shoulders by the time they're going through the clit phase or the nuts dropping phase.
You had a good point though. It's like they're consuming so much information.
Yeah.
Their brains, they can't handle it. They're overloaded by the time they're 11 or 12. Yeah. They've listened to all your problems. They know what your boyfriend or your girlfriend did to you and what they did to so-and-so across town. And I tell parents all the time, so, you know, we do a summer camp every year. Like, look, you got to be careful because when these kids come to Uncle Mario, they tell me everything. Like, I'm having to stop. I'm like, oh, that's
too much, man. That's too much.
That's parent video. You don't want to tell me that right there. But they do. When they get around somebody comfortable, they let go of all that. They let go of all that. And you don't know if it's going to be a teacher, a counselor, or anybody. It could be the police. So you got to really be careful what you talk about around these kids.
And I'm still a firm believer in stop bringing him, her, and him around your children.
Definitely.
It's cool to be abstinent. If you are a single parent, and I'm not taking away from, you know, your needs or whatever, but your priorities are your priorities. And we actually had this conversation the other night in our group chat pertaining to it. And a lot of men, for one, they don't admit to being put in a position of possible sexual harassment and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. So us as parents, we have to be able to teach little boys it's okay, one, to have emotions. And for two, if you're violated, you need to tell somebody.
Yeah, say so.
Because a lot of our generation of men, they're not going to tell.
Because at one point, it was like almost like a trophy. If an older woman, you just anything.
Oh yeah, it's a trophy. It's like, man.
It's a trophy. It's a pat on the back. But there's something about that too that still doesn't feel right. Even though you may, your boy, they hit you on the shoulder, they're like, all right, man, you good. But there's something in your mind that's saying that
this ain't right.
Feel right. Yeah. You know, that ain't how I wanted it to happen.
But they want to arm teachers, and there's some teachers that done had sexual relations with their students, males and females. Yes. But you want to go ahead and arm them.
And now say that relationship go bad. You don't even know who's going to shoot who at that point.
Exactly.
You don't know who's going to shoot
who. Exactly. That's true. So you got to think of the whole picture. But parents themselves, we have to think of, and I had to catch myself, and I know I've said it before, the child needs to be able to make their own decisions to a certain degree. We are there to guide. We are there to explain and to be upfront about the situation wholeheartedly. When that 10-year-old girl goes to her mama and says that she got jumped, she didn't know what the rest of it, she got jumped during Roblox. And the mom goes and checks it out, and come to find out they were dry humping in Roblox. She automatically assumed the worst and then went into a rampage. Instead of having a discussion with her child at the same time. Yes, I would still question the abilities of that game, but my child is no longer playing that game.
I'm about to say, that was my first move. Okay, we're not playing that no more.
Unplugged.
But in some households, that's the babysitter, so why not?
Spend some time with them.
Exactly, spend some time with them. Spend some time with them. We have gotten too far away from a village raising children. Not us, because Lord knows we all are. We deep up in this thing. We teach.
I had to tell my ex, like, I'm not man enough to say, I'm like, I need help right now. Like, we're going through a difficult time. I need to see if you can get our son. Yeah. And let him finish school with you. Like,
And you've been a single father for a long time.
For a long time, probably 7.5 years. In this last year, I'm seeing a trend. You know how we talk about patterns. If a pattern keeps happening, and I told my son, that means you're not listening to me.
I see the path that you hit.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You don't want to listen. You got a choice. There's somebody else you can go stay with. You go stay with your mom. Because right now we ain't clicking. We ain't on the same page right now. So
you got some choices to make.
That's what I'm trying to teach him now, because he's at that age now where he's going 18 next year, and I'm no longer gonna make decisions for you. So now it's a perfect time for you to start learning about the consequences of your decision.
And at 17 in Georgia, you consider that you're gonna be tried as an adult.
Right. So now you want to make decisions. That's fine. Like that's what I told him. Like, you want to say to your mom, just let me know. And I'm not gonna fight it, but I'm still gonna support you. I'm still gonna help you. But I think it's key. You said this earlier, that when they get to these ages, you have to let them start making decisions. And they're gonna mess up. They're gonna make some bad choices. They're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna make some great choices. Yeah. But if they don't go through that, imagine that's why
experience.
But that's why people have 35-year-old kids in their house and stuff. They can't,
because you have molded a dependency.
Right. You haven't allowed them to go out there and figure it out. My dad did it real fast. He just look. He told us high school, look, I'm not gonna buy your first car. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not co-signing on that. And we didn't get mad. We went out and figured out all that.
But you already knew what the expectations were.
Right.
It's not in every household these days, because our generation, we didn't have that parents buying us our first car. Our parents don't. So a lot of our age personnel are just like, oh my God, let me give my child everything I did not have.
Right. And that kind of cripples. I see both sides of it, but it does.
I can understand it as long as it's earned.
And that's
through your grades, through your responsibilities, through, this and that and the third. You got to show that it's earned. Like mine, I wasn't even going to take him to get his license because that's a privilege. But he was doing right in school. He was doing what he needed to do. He wasn't acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? So I finally said, okay. But he was 17 at almost 18. Yeah. I wasn't running to the drop. Oh my God, you're 16. Let me go get your license. No. You can go get an Uber.
I was on crutches when I was 16. I couldn't get my license.
I was locked up when I was 16. I didn't get mine until 17.
I didn't get my license.
I had metal on my leg. I was like,
I was in college over 21 years old. We just, where we grew up, we drove so long without license. It was like
we did too, but when I got locked up at 17, the next day, we were standing in that Cobb County line at 6 o'clock in the morning waiting to go get that's when you could take both tests in the same day. I had to become legal before court so I could get this shit dropped.
Yeah, I was in college when I actually got a license.
Well, boy, Vicky Lynn rimmed my ass up. How you get pulled over? Well, you broke my tail light. So I put it on her. I sure did. I had just got out of jail. My car was fine before I was locked up. So, hey, I'm just saying. You did it. It was my fault, though. I should have PMCS'd the car and made sure everything was straight if I was driving illegal. That's why I be trying to tell people now, like, bruh, if you know you doing some dumb shit, at least make sure your tail lights work, your brake lights work, your blinkers work. Like, don't give them any reason for probable cause to pull you over.
I got pulled over just because the car I was driving one time.
Really?
Huh? I bought a little $300 Mazda stick shift. You had a cleaning business at the time. So I was driving way out Roswell. I was driving way far from Walmart. So that's when gas was like 4 something gallon back in 2000 when it first started to jack up.
Post Bush?
Yeah, it was bad. And
that was Obama's fault.
And I thought, I got me a little it was like an old 80-something Mazda. Right. And it was a little stick shift. Yeah. And it was the ugliest thing, but I loved that damn car. Didn't have no air, no nothing, but I loved that damn car because I got like 500 miles to the gallon.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was like no gas. Oh, I'm riding around with all these Lexus. I'm in my little Mazda car. And I got pulled over just because of the car I was in.
What?
Yeah, just because it was like, there wasn't nothing on my blinkers, nothing on, just because of the way it looked.
East Point used to do that to me and my Cutlass.
Sure did. I didn't have nothing on it, but it was like...
Fulton Industrial, too.
He didn't tell me, he said, well, sometimes we pull over people, just because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to a job. Right? I'm just going to a job, dude.
No, they probably thought she wasn't a white girl. They targeted that vehicle.
Yeah, they targeted me.
They
when they see me, they're like,
that vehicle.
oh, okay, you're good. And I was like,
That's why I said they used to do that to me.
And they did. They literally said, "Oh, okay, you're fine, you're good." They literally said that, and I was like, well, "Why?"
Oh yeah, you have
I was
a
so
wonderful
confused.
day.
I was like, "But why?" I didn't understand.
Profiling. They was profiling. They were stereotyping.
They sure did.
Yep.
And see what it was like a light blue color, but it had like rust on the top. I mean, it was rough looking, but I loved it.
Or they thought she was selling some cocaine or meth back then.
I mean, I'm telling you, they did.
Especially if you're going to Roswell to like upscale areas.
From Rockmart.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And I'm like,
Did your tag say Floyd?
Polk.
Or Polk County?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
yeah. And they put me in there like,
Oh,
okay.
They probably thought you had some
They just looked at me and they were
moonshine.
like, you're fine. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you was on a daily drop off.
Yeah, you had some moonshine in the back of your car. That was one reason why I didn't change Tavares' tag from Cobb County to my primary residence. Because I was like, if I change it and he's in Cobb County as a young black man driving, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna keep Cobb County on there because I didn't want them problems for him. But that's the thing; those are the conversations that we have to have with our kids and nieces, nephews, or whatever. Because your sister or brother might not have it too wrapped around in the head, and aunties are the second moms, so to speak. Or, the uncles are the second
beat your
dad.
ass. I'm just I'm known for
She
that.
will.
I'm known for beating your ass. Just don't even
I
try.
noticed that even with all the kids in our family, the kids are more likely to talk to somebody other than their parents. Not that they don't love their parents. They feel like, okay, it's safe now, I can let go a little bit. So each of our kids will go to one of our brothers, and then their kids come to me, and we're okay with that. Like
At least they're talking to somebody,
right?
And I think that's the way it goes as well with a little one. You know what I'm saying? With my little grown man now, but I don't think he really felt like he really had that because it was just so much in and out.
Okay.
Because we were all deployed or he had to move somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It was so much movement around being a military kid. It's a little different.
Right.
So you get used to this one person and then mommy comes back.
Yeah.
And then mommy's got to leave again. You got to get used to this person and then mommy comes back. You know what I'm saying? So that's that in and out type situation. And it's not our fault, but you have to keep that. Now with the technology capabilities, you can still stay a constant. Maybe not physically, but you can still stay a constant. Which
that's one of the good things.
As to before, you couldn't. But you have to have these conversations with your children. If not you, somebody else that you trust.
Right.
To have that conversation, because not every family member is somebody that you need to trust.
Right.
Some of these family members think it's cool and kikiing and ha-ha when the kids fight for $1. They used to do that over their old meal. Put $1 out in front of the kids, like whoever win, y'all get this $1. And them kids, I'm talking about bricks and sticks and everything. And these are 6, 7, 8-year-old kids.
That was an Easter egg hunt for me. They put the money in the man's. I'm like, my sister didn't have a chance. I was like, boom!
That's the money egg.
But I mean, it just boils down to you could be the cool parent without being the BFF. You don't need to know all your child's business.
Oh, I can't say it.
But when you see that your child has a change in mood from you actually have to pay attention to the patterns. Initially, them patterns tell a tale, and if they walking in, it's not the usual, bad day at school, or I'm just, whatever, and they start actually changing and secluding themselves even more. You might need to ask them, hey, what's going on, man? That's not being the bestie. That's being the parent.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel bad if you can't buy your child their first brand new car.
Everybody's different.
There's a difference of wants and needs. And some of these kids are real cool, because they've been peeping how you move. Like, I've had some kids in the family just be like, I understood, when we didn't have it like that. I could tell. But I saw that y'all was hustling and making it do what it do with what you had. We have kids that are grown now that'll tell us that. Oh, we was watching y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't sit them down and be like, baby, look, my light's about to get cut off, knowing too much grown folk business.
Right.
But if my lights or my water was about to get turned off, you best believe we was having a flashlight party. It was going to be fun. Because I didn't have the means to do it. I might not get paid until next week. So there have been instances in that situation. I'm not there now, but he's been through it. You know what I mean? If the water was getting turned off, I had jugs of water. The toilet always still stayed filled up, or we went and, took showers wherever or whatnot. Boiled the water on the stove type situation. There's many ways of making things happen, and I think this society is so fucking spoiled and entitled.
Entitlement, yeah.
Somebody just said, I heard a podcast today where they was talking about how you get praised to be an individual, and social media kind of helps that. So everybody, you have your own platform. You can stand on your own opinion, no matter how messed up they are. But it doesn't help us become a group. And collectively, we can do. If people really got together, you can change the laws. You can change the gas prices.
That's just it.
We really got control over everything, but everything around us is designed.
Individualism.
So we won't come together.
It's division. It's divide and conquer.
But we're not popular when we do come together.
No.
Because it's not the next funny thing. It's not the next hype thing. We're not the HERshyt Show. We don't sit up here and bash celebrities. Okay. We don't talk about the makes-ups and breaks-ups and all that shit that happens on.
Your views go out the roof when you do that.
Exactly, because that's when you are welcoming every type of mentality to jump on your show, and not saying we welcome everybody. No matter if you want to go against this or troll or do whatever, because for one, we're not going to respond to you in that manner the way you think we are. I'm not going to go.
I'm like, okay.
You got it. I'm going to put my one little statement out there, and if you respond to it in a way that I believe that you are possibly going to respond in a trolling mechanism to try to poke at the bear, you're not going to get this bear.
That's what it is. It goes back to being an individual. Like, I'm going to troll you. I got all the power right now.
But these same adults are the bullies that are teaching these children how to be bullies, and then want to be shocked when it happens.
Kids definitely grow up the same way.
Or worse.
Probably worse.
We looked at it as, well, at least I did, looked at it as, I had people around me that I knew not to be like. Right. That's how I took it. I see how they living. I don't want to live that way. They struggling. Like I don't never see them eat. I always see them with a bottle in their hand or geeked up on something or, and stinking. I don't want to live that way. I like hygiene. Yeah. I like, being refreshed. I like, whatever. So my mentality was that I know I don't want to be like you, but you're cool as hell. That's the funny uncle or the funny auntie, you know what I'm saying? They're going to sneak me a cigarette or a little weed on the side later on, so they cool. But if I crossed that line and disrespected somebody else, that same uncle and auntie that was cool with me, hey, I'm going to need you to calm that down, niece. You know what I'm saying? You're being disrespectful to grown folks. They was going to snatch me up in the same sense.
That village,
unconditional love. And there's a huge difference between abuse. And so many people, hey, hang on, you raised your voice at me, that's abuse. I'm from the South, motherfucker. I talk loud anyway. And I can't hear myself talk, so I get even louder. And when I get hyped, I get louder. That don't mean I'm abusing you. You just don't like the words that I'm telling you right now. So I don't know, Cuzzo. What you think?
You summed it all up.
My bad. What you think, though? I mean, for real. Because you've witnessed it even within the past few years.
What part?
I had to call you in.
Oh, yeah.
Not my child, but, with a certain situation. Do you think it's cute when kids be around grown folks' business?
Hell no. Ain't nothing cute about that.
Even when they're 17, 18 years old?
Absolutely not.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
It's all about respect for me.
Yeah.
I was raised out to respect.
Yeah.
Some adults are like that. Like if you're the type of person that gossip and run around talk, we're gonna finish this conversation later because here they come.
Yeah.
And it just has to be like that.
Because they gotta have something to talk about.
Yeah, it's no disrespect, but we don't talk about certain stuff in front of certain people.
Yeah.
Whether you're an adult or a child.
That's where them categories come in at too.
Yeah. You gotta respect your peace.
But that kikiing and ha-haing when little kids is walking around bad as shit, throwing shit at people's forehead when they sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? Like the real baby's kids.
Yeah. If people got mad, it was a rapper, Boosie Badass. They got mad at him because his kids, he had people spending night at his house. his kids was running around shooting people with water guns to wake him up, to just mess with people.
Yeah.
He made him walk his property line. His property, you know, he got acres and acres.
Mm-hmm.
And they was online mad at him. I'm like, man, it's trees. He was like, it's shade. They walking in the shade.
I remember that.
That's gonna be a punishment for them. Every time I got guests over, they taunt them a guest and terrorize them like guests.
Yeah.
Like, these my kids, y'all. And they had to walk the whole property line. I'm like, I respect that.
Yeah.
He ain't beat them.
He ain't put him out the house.
Right, but you got to go out there and you walk. I don't care if you're tired. Here goes some water. Keep walking. But I remember that incident. That was one of the times when I applauded a celebrity for handling that.
I applaud him for that.
You don't let your kids just terrorize your house.
No.
Messing with your guests, like them grown people you mess with. Now, once them grown up jump up and slap you or take a belt off, when now it's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Because you done shot me in the face with a water gun. I'm just trying to take a nap.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, hey, bro, I can't even come over here no more. You got to get them children.
Imagine how hard that would deal with. You over somebody's house and you chilling, just relaxing, and the kid run out there and start shooting you with water guns and mess with you.
I'd have to get one of them super soakers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them back.
I'm in a bucket. Y'all might pick you by your ankles and just dunk your
But I mean, it just boils down to it. Like, stop having kids around grown folk business.
Yeah.
And letting them get away. And I'm not talking about just beating the hell out of them because they did something or whatever. I'm not talking about
there's
that.
different ways of structure.
There's different ways of structure. There is. And definitely got to have these conversations with your kids because there's too many children that I didn't know, I don't understand. My parents didn't teach me, you know, you hear that even in our age group. Right. You know, I had to learn the hard way. Some things you are going to learn the hard way.
Because a lot of times our parents are growing up too. They're growing up with us, you know?
Yeah. So some things you're going to learn and you're going to teach your parents. Regardless, parents do learn from their children as well. Whether we admit to it or not.
I know mine do. They all look at me, I'm like, I'm the youngest here. Why are y'all looking at me?
I'm still learning from my boy.
Exactly. Because it's a different time.
Yeah.
It's different times. You know, it's not the same. The technology these days, oh my goodness. I still can't figure TikTok out. I
don't get on TikTok. I barely get on Instagram.
I use it for more of the HERshyt Show, but you know, to put up little funnies and stuff like that. But if you put up real shit and that's lacking the drama or bashing somebody, people gonna watch it.
You can see that on my
but they're not gonna react.
If I put up something that's silly or funny, just look. I want to get hundreds of
people suck that shit up.
Comments. Oh, you so silly, boy, you doing this. And if I say anything about race, politics, anything like that, I barely get 3 likes. I know people are looking at it because I got a lot of followers. I can see how many followers. I got over 4,000 followers. Mm-hmm. So I know people are looking, and they may say something when they see me in public. I'm like, why didn't you, like, I just posted it. Why didn't you say something? That's where you're supposed to say something at.
Yeah. And we welcome comments.
Because they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen as being for or against something that's so, it could be something about abortion or something. They don't want nobody to know how they feel about it. So they just rather back up and not.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
The individual mindset now that they won't let us collectively handle anything.
Yeah. Because it's not affecting them personally. Then they don't want to be involved. Yeah. Because they're in that comfort zone. They're in that bubble. So, but bottom line, stop letting kids be around grown folk conversations. Stop thinking that children being bad as hell, little Chucky's running around is cute. And then you want to be surprised when they get older
Chucky
and act a whole fool and you really can't control their ass or they don't want to listen to you. I mean, you got to look back at it. And then there's some good parents that do raise their kids in conversations and all that, and the child still end up doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Absolute facts.
That's not your fault neither. So,
that is facts.
It boils down to the individual, the mindset, the surroundings, all that good stuff. But until next time, it's the HERshyt Show.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheherShytShow. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.